Howdy there, boys and girls. I just wanted to talk about MSTY today, which is the Yield Max MSTR options income strategy. Now, I had previously talked about ULTY, which is another covered call strategy ETF that is run by Yield Max, but this one's a bit different. Unlike ULTY, which actually holds on to the underlying and then sells covered calls and protected puts against it in order to generate income, this one creates synthetic positions which mimic the fact that it owns the underlying when in fact it does not. And if I go to the holdings, we can actually see this. Let's go to download all holdings. You can see in here that there are absolutely no shares of MSTR whatsoever in here. There are, what is this, 185 puts being sold against probably 185 calls way into the future. What is that? 9/19, September 19th. And you can see all of these match up. This 12,000 shares over here matches up with weird. I don't see it. 12,500 shares over here at 385. Uh, the minus 88,000 also matches up with the plus 88,000. So it's like you own the shares, but you don't really own the shares. And you're trying to make a profit off of this, either these combinations either expiring worthless or e- maybe if they expire slightly in the money because you're gaining income off of one side and you're like protecting yourself off of the call on the other side. So this is, I guess, how this works. This math is like confusing me because they never put these things together like they should group this 185 minus 12,000 with the, or maybe I could do it on my own spreadsheet with this MSDR 385 call up on the plus 12,000. You can see one was sold for 34, whereas the other one was bought for 1790. So there's a vast price difference there. Anyway, what else do they hold? They also hold United Treasury bills, which is the bulk of their cash holdings. These expire, when is it? 2026, November 2025. Uh, to 2026, 2026. 425 note, which expires in late 2025, couple months, couple more 2026, and a long-term holding here. First American Government Obligations Fund of 2031. That they really need to put commas in here. Sometimes these numbers are like so tiny. I know that these guys has what, this is a billion, I guess. Comma, comma, comma. Yeah, 1.4 billion. Anyway, if I can go into chart here, started out at about $21 back in 2024 in March, and it has been on a wild ride. Why is the question? Because this thing is actually backed in synthetics with MSTR, which is basically, well, now it's become that It's a Bitcoin holding company. And you can see, like, if you actually held the underlying here, you would have actually made a killing 300%. And this is what they're trying to profit off of. They're trying to profit off of the volatility of MSTR. But unfortunately, it's up and down like a roller coaster. Now, it does pay out on a monthly basis, uh, distributions, not dividends. And let's go back into here. The last distribution was actually 86% return of capital and 13% income. Actually, this is old. They really need to update these pages in what you're like almost 3 weeks behind on this. So yeah, 86% was your own money that was returned back to you, and 13% was income. I'm starting to hate this. I actually wish that they were only paying this 13% of income. Then this kind of a situation of craziness wouldn't be happening. And maybe, well, you would definitely get a lower than it would be a dividend. Actually, you would definitely get a lower dividend out of them, but at least the price would more mimic what was going on the MSTR side rather than looking like it does. Check that out again. Yeah, that's the MSTR side, which is crazy. Let me go to a 1 year here. The 1 year looks like that. It went from basically 100 to 500. And when was this? November of last year. And this went from, yeah, this basically doubled in price. But some months they gave out quite a steady income. 1 month they gave out 420, 442. And if you go look at Market Chameleon, they give you all the actual distributions to this thing. But you can see most of the distributions have unfortunately dropped. Some were really spectacular. This $4.19. But I will say this again, another but. If you bought this thing at the beginning at $21, you would have received in the last, whatever it is, year and a half, since March of 2024, you would have received about, what is this, $38 and a little above 10 cents of distributions. So since the price now is sitting at 17.68 plus $38, yeah, you've gotten your money back at this point and you're sitting pretty, but still, that is not a nice drop to live through. Boop. From 46 to 17, watching your actual principal capital erode. If you dripped into it, then yeah, you would have been fine. If you were only collecting money out of it, well, if you hit up there, if you invested up there, then you're definitely a loser, as maybe not that word. You definitely didn't gain any money if you invested at the height and are still sitting on it now. It's otherwise if you invested at the actual initiation of the fund, obviously, but still. Who knows what goes on in the future? Who knows what this thing will do or where it will go? It's already gone back up uh once, what? Once, twice, and now we're at the low end again of 1787, but it's still paying out a buck a month per share. Now, full disclosure, I don't own this thing. Uh, I'm kind of wary of these funds. I do own ULTY in a very small position of about 60 shares. It's, I don't know, just something about this getting paid out your own money from a portion of the fund only to then go back and buy more shares kind of freaks me out, but it's getting cheaper. Maybe I'll dip in at some point. Again, not financial advice, not financial education, or sorry, uh, I am not providing financial advice. I am only trying to educate you and tell you what I see. But for me, this thing's probably a no. No thanks, guys. Uh, like and subscribe. I thank you for stopping by. I hope this video was somewhat worth your while. Thanks a lot. Drop a comment. Peace.